Haunted Kuba. Author Zoe Chen. Picture edit Cindy Yang. Prologue. Hi, I'm Zoe the Snake from the Bunon tribe. Last time I took you guys into my tribe to learn about the Wall of Stories, but today I got an invitation to another tribe, so pack your bags and come with me to see what happens. Chapter 1. The Invite. In the middle of the night, I heard a knock on the door. I checked the clock. It was only 2 a.m. What kind of person is awake at 2 a.m.? I thought to myself. But still, I forced myself up and walked to the door. Something caught my eye. It was a letter that was anonymous. It read, "Join us if you dare. Brave souls and thrill seekers, you are cordially invited to a night of terror and spine-chilling horror at the infamous Kuba. July 27th, Saturday at 8 p.m. at the Soul Tribe." I immediately knew who had sent me that letter. My best friend Keela, the only person in the Soul Tribe. But I'm too sleepy to care. I could worry about that tomorrow. The next morning, after I was awake and had a clear mind, my feelings for my friend exceeded my fear. So I decided to say yes to the invitation and set off to the Soul Tribe. When I arrived, I discovered that I was not the only person who received the invitation. Calissa the Formosa Muntjac and Soraya the Deer were both on the list. "Hey, glad you're here," exclaimed Soraya. "Where's Keela?" "I don't know, haven't seen her since I got here," replied Callista. Just then, there was a drum roll from behind us. As we turned around, we saw Keela trotting bravely towards us. "Hey guys!" Keela greeted us with a warm smile. "So, why'd you send us that invitation?" I asked, eager to know. "I heard some villagers talking about that since April. There have been screams and cries in the middle of the night," Keela replied eerily. "But since the Kuba usually doesn't allow women in, we can sneak in at night and then figure out why it's haunted." "I've heard about this taboo, but why?" Soraya pondered. "Kuba is where men kill people and deal with dead bodies. The Soul Tribe believes that where there's killing, there's going to be a bad aura. And they're afraid the bad aura is going to burden the women. So they forbid women from going in, and only men will carry the burden," explained Keela. "Aw, that's sweet," Calissa explained. "There's no time for romance. Back to the plan. I was thinking we leave at 9 p.m. when most of the villagers gone to sleep." Keela instructed. "Gotcha," we all replied with one voice. Chapter 2. Journey of Horror. After what felt like an eternity, we began the adventure to the haunted Kuba. We left Keela's den at 9 p.m. As we walked through the village paths, we saw dark shadows looming over us on the walls as the moon's dim rays of light cast on us like a spotlight. It made every house we passed look haunted, and the whole thing was giving spooky vibes. We walked forever and finally made it to the infamous Kuba. We checked our watches. It was only 9:06. We began walking up the rails that were creaking underneath us. As we walked in, we saw tons of bloody heads on sticks just staring blankly at us. "Ah!" We all screamed, except for Keela. What is that?" asked Soraya with a tremble in her voice. "Oh, that's just the heads of enemies," Keela replied, looking unfazed. "You're not scared of those?" I wondered. I knew the custom, so I'm prepared. It's like an offering to the gods above. The hunters do it to get the same results as last time. "But won't it stink?" I asked again. "Well, that's what the sticks are for. They put their heads on the sticks to let them dry," Keela replied. Just then a deep voice appeared from behind them. "Who dares awaken me?" the voice exclaimed. When they turned around, there was a tall figure in a red cape floating behind them. Soraya swiftly hid behind me when the figure appeared. Well, 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 if it isn't Keela the boar," the figure talked in contempt. "You know this guy?" Soraya mumbled. "I bumped into him several months ago during one of my nocturnal wanderings. It seemed like he was looking for something," Keela answered. "So, what were you looking for, Wu Feng?" She turned to the ghost fearlessly. "Shut up! You dare disturb my rest. Do what I demand or else you'll end up like the heads," he rumbled. "All right, what do you want?" Callista asked, shaken. "Good. You'll need to steal the almighty Fitu, he replied, sounding satisfied. But I heard that the Fitu can only be picked up at dawn, and is located on the top of the giant sacred tree deep in the Forbidden Mountains. Kila added. Quit talking and get going. You only have until sunrise, Wu Feng shouted impatiently. Soraya bolted out first, and the rest followed. They ran until they found a clearing. Everyone but Kila was shuddering. Kila tried to calm the group. Finally, Callista was able to find her voice. What's a Fitu? A Fitu is So's sacred flower. It is said to have healing and reviving power, Kila explained. Now, you might need to know something about Wu Feng. In Han Chinese history, he's a big hero because he ended the headhunting custom among the indigenous tribes. But for So people, he was just a big fat ripoff, and we all hated him. He traded bad quality goods for higher prices, and so our lands and women as well, Kila revealed. That's why I want to take a chance to destroy him once and for all. Kila's voice trembled with outrage. He's such a jerk, I echoed. Let's demolish him, exclaimed Callista and Soraya. Now, we need a plan, I said fiercely. Kila, you know best. What should we do next? First, we'll give the Fitu as he wishes, Kila instructed. But wait, Callista interrupted. I thought we were supposed to destroy him, not obey him. I'm not done yet. The Fitu is just a decoy. We'll also need some garlic because every ghost is afraid of garlic. Then we'll rub it on the stem. Once he touches it, he'll be sent to the abyss, Kila added. That makes more sense, Callista replied. But the most difficult part is where the Fitu is located. Since it's high in the trees, I'll take Zoe with me to retrieve it. And Callista, you know the Soul tribe well enough. You take Soraya with you and to get the garlic at the community garden. You have to be quiet and quick. I'll meet you at the community garden, Kila instructed. Aye, Captain, we all said in unison. So from there, we started the journey. Callista and Soraya walked underneath the dim moonlight, the midnight breeze and the excitement keeping them awake. There, in the shadows, the community garden. The crops gently swayed with the breeze, and the lanterns on the sides cast a warm, flickering light. There it is! Come on, let's hurry before anybody sees us, Callista whispered. They searched through the garden, looking for garlic. Just then, a rustling noise coming from the bushes startled them. What was that? Asked Soraya, terrified. I don't know, but we better hurry up and hide, Callista suggested. They quickly dug out one garlic and hid behind a bush. Once they found the noise was just a rat, they went back to the field and got some more. I think we better prepare more, just in case, Callista said. I wonder how they're doing, Soraya was concerned. Meanwhile... So, how long will it take for us to get to the sacred tree? I inquired. About an hour, but we don't have much time, so just ride on my back. It'll be faster. I coiled tightly around Kila's back. Our powerful legs pounded the forest floor, and we rushed through the dense underbrush, racing towards the ominous peaks of the Forbidden Mountains. Even though we were tired, we pressed on with unwavering determination. Look, there's a giant sacred tree, Kila exclaimed, pointing forward. I looked toward where she was pointing, and there, a sublime red cypress stood proudly on the mountainside. Its gnarled trunk thick and sturdy, bearing the marks of countless seasons. The bark was rugged in texture, a mosaic of deep grooves and ridges that spoke to its age and resilience. Its massive branches stretched out in all directions, creating a broad, leafy canopy that cast a patchwork of shadows on the ground below. On the very top, gleaming in the moonlight, is the majestic Fitu. Be careful, and remember, you can't let the Fitu touch the ground, or else its magic power is gone, Kila reminded. I advanced toward the treetop. As I reached the treetop, I used the tip of my tail to gently grasp the stem and pluck the flower from its perch. I carefully slid it down the tree trunk, handing the Fitu to Kila. When we retrieved the flower, it was already 2 a.m. Come on, we better hurry, Kila exclaimed. When we got back to the community garden, Callista and Soraya were nowhere to be found. Just then, we heard a small voice near the bushes say, Kila, Is that you? We turned to the voice. It was Callista and Soraya hiding in the bushes. Why are you hiding here? I asked. You guys are taking so long, and we were afraid to be found, so this is the safest option, Soraya replied. Now that we had the fitu and the garlic at hand, we were able to start the plan. We mashed the garlic into a paste and smeared it all over the stems of the fitu. For precaution, we even covered it with a bit of perfume to hide the garlic's nasty odor. All set! Let's go destroy that jerk! Keela exclaimed. Chapter 4 Eternal Abyss. The four of us went back to the Kuba. It was almost 4 a.m. We could hear Wufong tapping his foot against the wooden floor inside. We went up the railing. Wufong eagerly approached us as he laid eyes on us. Yes, the fitu at last! Wufong's eyes gleamed with joy, fixated on the fitu on my tail. We discussed it before we went in. It's able for me to hold it since I could hold it with my tail without giving out the scent. Wufong reached out, but I quickly pulled it back. He tried a couple more times, but all unsuccessful. He started to grow impatient, and his anger was piling up. Now, you do know if you don't give it to me, you will end up in the abyss, right? Wufong scoffed. His eyes narrowed. Yeah, but also that its magic would disappear after sunrise, Keela replied composedly. So give it to me now, he shouted, sounding outraged. We could give it to you, but you have to answer our questions first, Keela queried. Spit it out. What do you want to know? Wufong wanted to get it over with, to consume the fitu's magic. Were you the one who made the crying noises? Asked Keela. I have nothing to do about it. You think I'm the kind of person who would weep? Wufong despised. The crying is from those wretched souls that So has killed. As long as they keep killing people and putting heads here, the voices will keep on coming. Those crying voices piss me off. That's why I need the fitu to revive and get the hell out of here. Now give me the fitu! Wufong roared. After hearing Wufong's explanation, Keela signed to me to hand over the flower. I slithered over cautiously, handed him the fitu, and signaled for everyone to take a few steps back to enjoy the show. As soon as Wufong's hand touched the stem, he started screaming in agony and slowly melting until only his red cape was all that was left. Yes, he's gone for good, Keela exclaimed happily. Plus, since he's disappeared, he wouldn't have to hear the cries again. We kind of did him a favor, I added. We all laughed it off, and we had a fantastic spa day to celebrate this big victory. You'll think this is the end, but is it?